Guna TV, Ryan Williams. So 10 losses now for Arteta after, was it 23 games? How do you think the game went, mate?
I thought it was awful. I think it really set the tempo once Cedric, made that hospital pass. I don't know what the hell that was. Ollie Watkins obviously took advantage of the whole situation, and from then, it was a back to the wall job. I mean, we all knew it was going to be tough going to Villa Park. It's never easy going there, but ultimately, it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
wasn't good enough.
I mean, I can't believe they cocked up so early in the game. You're thinking, right, after the Wolves game, let's really get back on it now, and then straight away, bang, we're 1-0 down, and it's against us.
It just seems like everything we've worked for in the last 7 to 8 games has just gone in the toilet. I mean, even in the Wolves game, we started off very well. It's probably the best start I've seen in such a long time. And unfortunately, what happened with Luiz and then later on with Leno, that was just horrible. You think, okay, it's done, sweep it under the rug, let's go again. Villa, where we need to win if we have any hope, and that word hope, has a chance of trying to get into the top 4 or at least European places for that matter. Because I think top 4 has been dead for a long time. And we blew it. We just went back to normal in terms of just being lethargic and stupid and slow, lacking of ideas, and confidence seems to have just died again, which I don't understand why. What's going on with this mentality of this team? It's unacceptable, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's your take on the Saka potential sending off for an Aston Villa player? I can't remember who the defender was, and the penalty incident with Lacazette and the goalkeeper.
The Saka thing, I've had a lot of debates with people about that, because initially the watch along I was on, I thought was a sending off personally at the time, and I'm going to tell you why I said at the time, because I mean, he's not really that far away from the goal. He's like 40 yards out. Do you know what I mean? There was another defender like further down, which kind of nullifies it a little bit, it being a yellow. But, in a moment, you're thinking that's a red straight away. But, I don't know. I think maybe it was the right decision. But at the same time, I don't know. I think maybe it's the right decision. I'm not too sure. I think it could have been a yellow, because if it was us, and you know how the referees love us, if it was us, probably we got sent off. They probably would have never reviewed it. And then,
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Bednarak got his red card rescinded for taking down, I think it was Martial against Man United. David Luiz's got upheld, and then this one's a yellow card. Well, what's the difference between all three then?
I think they just look at David Luiz as, he always does it. He always gets red cards. I don't know, innit? That's the only thing that comes to my mind. They look at David Luiz's reputation. He has a bad reputation of getting sent off. Remember the Chelsea game last season where we came back 2-2? Remember when Mustafi made that mistake and he had to take Tammy Abraham down and he got a straight red? Now, if that was the Wolves game, Luiz probably would have got a yellow. The rules are so inconsistent. It's ridiculous. And the Lacazette, that's a penalty. I don't care what you tell me. That is the penalty. Goalkeepers are protected so heavily these days. I don't know why Martinez didn't get picked up on that. But as we know with Martinez, he did a lot of clever shit when he was playing for us last season that, we kind of sweep under the rug. So for me, look, they should have went back, reviewed it. I didn't really like Peter Walton's comments, because again he was deflecting on why it shouldn't be a penalty, when blatantly everyone in the BT studio and everyone probably watching the game thinking, there should be a penalty.
Yeah, so, he actually said, didn't he, that VAR's not there to get the correct decision. And
so why is it there?
What's it supposed to do then? Surely it's there to get the correct decision when the officials can't see something, and specifically decisions that change a game, like a penalty or a sending off or an offside that leads to a goal. How can it not be to get the right decision?
What's the point of VAR being in here? Why did we want VAR in the game in the first place? Because decisions like this decision, we're not getting looked at, and all of a sudden, oh no, let's turn it off. It's they're cocking up, man. They know they're messing up, and even if you watch Peter Wharton and the expression in his face when explaining certain things in the David Luiz situation and this situation, he struggled to cover his own tracks, and you know, credit to the guys
I
on
think
BT
he did. I
Sport.
think
They
you're
tried
right.
to dig him out. They just tried to dig
Yeah.
him out, and he knew it, and he knew he couldn't mess up with him and his little gang. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I'm not holding the decisions against us in reasons why we lost. I already said it in my match reaction on my channel, because ultimately we should be doing better. We'll go 1-0 down, okay. It's within the first minute. Work harder and get the goals and try and win this game. And, you know, it is what
I
it
mean,
is.
this is it. There's a lot being said this past week about refereeing decisions and stuff like that. But again, for me, Arteta has to be in the spotlight in terms of the team was sort of what we expected. We thought, okay, cool, right? But then he makes some really weird, again, substitute decisions. I mean, bringing Willian on again, it's been proven it doesn't work, especially putting Pepe out on the right wing. It doesn't work. And then he puts Auber up front instead of Martinelli. And Auber has just done absolutely nothing when he's come on in recent games. I mean, what do you make of them substitutions?
Very questionable. They've been questionable a lot of times. Sometimes he gets it right. But what annoys me is the fact that, you know, in terms this time, he made the substitutions a lot earlier than he usually does. Because let's face it, we get annoyed when he makes substitutions like 20 minutes late. It's like, what are you doing? But today, okay, Partey coming off getting cramped, couldn't be helped. But you don't put him on. If you had El Neni was on the bench, I think, I'd have been fine with that. As much as I don't really rate El Neni, fine. That makes sense. Willian, no. No. You just don't put him on. Martinelli, come on, right? Because Cedric getting pulled off was the correct decision. And if we'd had to put Saka left back like he did, fine. But you bring Martinelli on. Martinelli literally could change the game. All right? I'm sorry. Aubameyang has done nothing to warrant coming on in the second half and trying to do something, because his mind ain't right for starters, and he hasn't really been well this season. So personally, I think Aubameyang coming on didn't do anything, and it wasn't going to do anything in the first place. Like, I think the team was pretty much dead at that point.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
we march on. We might lead to the next game at home at the Emirates. What's your thoughts on the game coming up, mate?
Going to be very open. Very open, because let's face it, defensively, we are better than Leeds, because when you look at the goal difference, it tells you everything. But we need to win, because if Leeds win their next game, I think they go above us and we're back to 11th. So every game is a must win going forward, but it's going to be tough, because after Leeds, we got City. So we need to beat Leeds. There's no exceptions. I don't want to hear draw. I want to hear 3 points. So Arteta and our squad better get it right. They have to get it right, because, like I said, if you want to improve on 8th from last season, you need to start bucking up your ideas, because City's next after Leeds. Then we got Leicester. 2 games where ultimately away from home we're awful, but we got City at home, so that's going to be harder as well. So yeah, we need to beat Leeds. There's no questions. What about you?